different. This one's called Just Another Storm. A cacophony of condescension ricocheted around the room. Bullets of beratement tearing through heart and mind, making coherent thought improbable at best. I was not blameless. As I sat there on that sofa between two sisters, one whose eyes I could not look at for long, but I will never forget them, peering back at me from between two curly pigtails. They held onto tears she would not let slip. There, on my other side, my other sister, pink-cheeked and open-mouthed, yelling, not at him, but at me. Stop, you're making it worse. What had I done? My 15-year-old self rose, stood before my two younger siblings, poised to defend or to depart, to name what was happening. How could they not see? This scene of tightly held fists, battering as harshly as his tightly held words, had played itself out so many times. Why were we afraid to call it what it is? Intolerant, I became, out of breath, shoved back to the sofa with words and a thick, calloused hand. I watched him rant, roar, roll his eyes like one of those two-dimensional dolls that when you pull the string on top of its head, up go the arms, up go the legs, up go the eyes. That's what he was to me in that one brief humorous moment. Waving his arms, jumping up and down, spinning, "King of my castle, what happens in this house stays in this house. Booga booga," was all I really heard. But then the comic relief was gone. I stood again. This is not right, is all I managed to get out before the backhand knocks me to the floor, closer to the front door, where I hover a moment before shouting some teenage rebuttal, before placing my hand on the cool knob, diastolic and systolic reverberations racking my ribcage, Mom in tears, him not a revolving door, and on the couch, one accusatory glare and one pleading gaze stayed my movement, held me in a vortex of indecision. I looked for the words, but I could not find them. Or rather, I found them behind my eyes, but I could not press them to my gut, where they could have trampolined through swimming-trained lungs out of my now gaping mouth and found sweet release. But instead they sat, those words, behind my eyes, just as I sat behind my fear, behind my anger, behind my false apology. One arm around each sister, awaiting the next storm.
Yep.